Okay, so now we're going to discuss about the basic salts, double salts, mixed salt, and a complex salt. Later on, we'll be discussing that. Now talking about the basic salt, which means the OH ion does not get dissociate completely. The OH ion does not get dissociate completely, which means if you have a salt, which example you're going to take? For example, I'm taking copper hydroxide. Copper hydroxide. This is copper. This is the hydroxide of copper, OH whole twice, and it combines with any sort of acid. For example, I'm considering the acid which is HCl, right? So let's take an example of HCl. You can combine with H2SO4, but don't take monobasic acid since I told you that it only ionize only one. Okay, let's take up monobasic as well. We will concern about it monobasic and dibasic when we talk about acidic salts, right? This is a monobasic acid, right? So the salt that will form here will be Cu bracket OH and Cl. This is a basic copper chloride salt, Cl. This will be the salt. This is a basic copper chloride salt. So it's not prominent here. So I'm writing here CuOH, and after the bracket it will be written that Cl. So this is a basic copper chloride salt. For basic copper chloride salt. This is a basic copper chloride salt. As you can see, there are presence of OH ion, which means it's a basic in nature. If you talk about a double salts are mostly, what's the difference between double salts and mixed salts? Double salts are represented by dots, 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 and dots. For example, we have an example of MgCO3. This is basically known as dolomite, MgCO3, and CaCO3, MgCO3 dot CaCO3, CaCO3, CO3. Then we have the other example as well for it. For example, we have example of, I'm not writing here that FeSO4, then NH4 whole twice, SO4 dot 6H2O. This is example of more salt. This is dolomite. And then we have one more example of potassium, which is K2SO4, Al2SO4 dot 24H2O. So these are the example of which salt. These are basically example of the double salt. Then talk about the mixed salt. So mixed salt is basically has cations. It has cations, positive ions. It has positive ions, then it has negative, except H ion and H plus and OH, except H plus and OH. This is the criteria of the mixed salt. It has H plus, except H plus and OH minus. H plus, H plus, except H plus and OH minus. It has H plus, except H plus and OH minus. I'm writing this example here. For example, we have this example we can take. For example, NaKCO3, sodium potassium sulfate, NaKSO3, SO4. Sodium is positive, potassium is positive, two positive ions. There is no presence of the H ion, and SO4 is negative. Since this is an example of the complex salt, mixed salt, right? So it has cations and anion except H plus and OH minus. So these are the types of the salt.